Hi everyone, I'm almost ready. Put my pinny on. No, not it. In the right spot in a minute. Hannah's out tonight, so you've got me all to yourselves, or I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know whether I'm excited or nervous or whatever. And anyway, we'll see how we go and get on with making the cupcakes. Really simple, really easy, quite inexpensive, very yummy, good way to use up the leftover Easter chocolate if you want to do that. Hi Maureen, hi Barb, hi Margarita. Yes, nice to see everyone's here. That's really good. I hope you've had a lovely couple of days. It's been so warm here. It has been blissful, and then today it was quite cold. So typical. We're going to make brownie cupcakes, which sounds a bit odd, but I had thought of making my hummingbird cake because I make one or two, usually two, every Easter, and I need to get them done, but it takes so long and it takes ages to cook. So we came up with the cupcakes that are really yummy. That's so good, and they're really easy to do. So simple, it's amazing. So I've done some already because I want to ice them while the next lot's baking. And then I've got some other bits and pieces to talk about and show you and whatever. So everyone's here. Hi, Kath, Diana, Lynette, Joe. Yes, happy Easter, everybody. Maundy Thursday, although I guess nobody really knows it as Maundy Thursday anymore, do they? We all know Good Friday and Easter Sunday, and I think the other days have just sort of gone by the wayside, but not to worry. I am looking forward, hi Leonie, I'm looking forward to 4 days of not having to get up and go, if nothing else. We've got a nice weekend planned. We've got an easy day tomorrow. Saturday's a lovely day I'm spending with friends. We'll have a really nice time. Sunday is just a family day for us this year. Monday will be another easy day, and then everyone's back to work on Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday's Anzac Day, another holiday. It's a really odd week, isn't it? It's so stretched out. I know Hannah's taken 2 days annual leave and built up her flexi days so that she gets all of next week off. So that'll be fun. We have quite a few things planned that we want to do together, and she's got heaps of stuff to do on her own, whatever it is, nails and hair and all that sort of thing. So that'll be good for her too. What was I going to say? It's gone right out of my head. Never mind, it'll come to me. Let's get started with these cupcakes. The link to the recipe will be in the comments, in the show notes underneath when I'm finished. And of course on the Cheapskates Club website. So if you go to the show notes page, you will find a link to the recipe for these delicious Easter brownie cupcakes. Okay, they're really simple. It uses a packet mix. This is just an Aldi packet mix, $2.39. Really nice. Now, if you have a brownie recipe that you like to make from scratch, go right ahead and make it. That's fine. Make it up like you would normally make it. Otherwise, get the packet mix and make it according to the directions on the box. And the directions on this box say 125 grams of butter, and I need to melt it. So I'm going to melt it in the bowl that, excuse me, in the bowl that it gets. That's not big enough. Where's the big ones? Oh, there we go. I need to find a cloth big enough to go over the bowl to stop the splatters. There we go. Mix it. When I'm making stuff for myself, I do it the easiest, quickest, most time efficient way possible. So for me, melt the butter in the bowl, add the dry ingredients and the eggs, and it's only one bowl I've got to wash. Normally when I'm doing the cooking segments, you'll see I have a bowl with the butter that gets melted in another bowl to mix, and it's a whole heap of washing up. So I've decided if it's the way I do it, I'll demonstrate the way I do it. And if you want to do it differently, go right ahead. But this is the way I do it. The butter won't be melted yet. It was only 30 seconds. But I will just push it round and give it another 30. Okay, so who's with us? 301 Jules, Narelle, Lorraine. So glad you could join us. Is it much easier now that daylight savings finished? I know it is probably for Queenslanders, not so much for West Australians, because it sort of puts you right on tea time, I guess, over there. Never mind, I can hear the butter popping, so that will be ready to go. Yep. There we go. I'll give it a bit of a stir. If I put it there, you'll be able to see it. My trusty spoon. It's not quite melted. I'll just keep stirring till that lump's gone. Now, I opened this before because I'm on my own. I was trying to be efficient or organised or something. So I've done as much prep as I could ahead of time. So in goes the brownie mix. And there. 2 eggs. Now, something I do with eggs always is crack them into a bowl. I never crack an egg straight into a cake mix. I always crack them into a bowl because there's always that chance that there's going to be one off egg, and especially if you have your own chooks. And there's nothing worse than having to throw out a whole cake batter for one off egg. So there, they're done. That's done. I can sit there. I just mix this up now with my spoon, my trusty spoon. You will need some little chocolate Easter. Oh, talk about messy. Little chocolate Easter eggs for this recipe. So I'm using these ones from Aldi. Sorry, holding it up to there. These ones from Aldi. What I don't use, I will probably eat because you can never have too much chocolate. Scrape down the sides, get all the dry ingredients. Mix it all in. Okay. Now, cupcakes, because we're going to make cupcakes. So cupcakes, and where are the cupcake papers? I've got these pretty ones right here. Let me get rid of my pre-peeled eggs. So there might be 12 here. Let's see. Are they pretty? See, they're so sweet. I like pretty cupcake papers. I'm always on the lookout for them. When I see them, I buy them. Because you can have the plainest of cupcakes, but if it's a pretty paper, it looks special. Oh, plenty, just enough. There we go. Okay, now that is mixed. Take my trusty scoop, and we're going to do half in the bottom, maybe a bit more. Let me see. Like so. And scoop in each bottom. Go out, drop in. Like so. I use the scoop so that I can even measure in each patty pan, and that way they usually, touch wood, usually turn out around the same size. No. Except that, there we go. No. And this scoop is a cross between a melon ball and an ice cream scoop. It's great for biscuit dough too, if you're doing biscuits. You want them to all be the same size. Drop out. Oh, this is thick, isn't it? Who's chatting? Into a bowl. Yep, good idea to always crack your egg into a bowl. 301 joules. Only takes a second, and it's only one little thing to extra thing to wash up, but it's worth every bit of it. A bit more in there. It doesn't look quite full enough. Okay, now the fun part with this is, because this is such a thick mixture, I'm going to wet my fingers. I have a glass of water. I'm going to dip my fingers in and pat it down in the base of the, just your fingers only have to be a little bit wet. Now this also, believe it or not, helps your cupcakes to rise evenly and not crack. And, you know, sometimes they split on the top, or they go up in a big peak. So this helps with that too. There we go. Okay, now, I'm going to wash tomorrow. I've got 12 little Easter eggs here, 12 little chucky Easter eggs. They go in the middle, just like so. These are the solid eggs. I've never tried this with the caramel-filled eggs or the strawberry-filled eggs. I've often been tempted with the caramel ones. I imagine they will be just delicious. Okay, 12 little eggs like so. And then we go back to the trusty scooper. And, whoops, cover them with batter. It's like soup. Again, we'll press it down in a minute. I saw a photo on the Facebook page today of some scrolls, some cinnamon scrolls and some pizza scrolls, they looked like, that had been made. They looked lovely, really, really good. And Alan just came and collected his dinner because, again, he's late home. And he asked what I was making tonight. I said, cupcakes. And he said, scrolls. I said, no, cupcakes. I'll make scrolls for you tomorrow. I'll be scrolling tomorrow. Okay, this is where the trusty spatula comes in handy, because you'll think you're not going to have enough to cover all your cupcakes, but you will. Scoop it in. Yep, that's a scoop. Scoop in a bit. And do a bit more roadworks. Okay, last little scoopy bit. Gosh, I love these silicone scrapers. They're the best things. They're so good for getting everything out of the jar. There's a little bit left, so let's get it all. Don't waste it. Bananas were really cheap at our greengrocer this week, so I made banana nut muffins yesterday. I made some banana nut muffins. Oh my gosh, they're so good. They were so good. The batter was just wonderful. Okay, wetting my fingers and pushing down again, making sure that that little chocolate Easter egg is covered. Pushing it down, wiping that off. Flushed out. Okay. Okay, there we go. Onto my apron again. Lucky I remembered the apron. Okay, into the oven. ready to go into the oven. 180 degrees, preheated, because remember it's baking, so it has to go in at the right temperature so it starts cooking straight away. Into the oven for 20 minutes. There we go. So, get rid of this. Right off my hand. There you go. While they're in the oven, we can get the icing ready, and I'll ice those, and then when they come out, they can cool and they'll be ready to be iced before I go to bed tonight. Right. Okay, so woo, hot cross buns. Yummy, Maureen. Maureen's making hot cross buns. No, Kath, I haven't heard from her yet. I've got Hannah onto it. So Karen Turner, Barbara. Karen Turner won the prize. Right, Lorraine S. Yes, it is a thick batter because it's a brownie batter. It's not a cupcake batter. It's brownie mix. So it won't be as pourable as a cupcake. Diana, the scoop is brilliant. If I'm making ordinary cupcakes, just filling them all, I use my ice cream scoop. Again, I'm going to the wrong place. Sorry, folks. Ice cream scoop. So 1 scoop of batter into each patty pan makes perfect cupcakes. Now, when I make cupcakes, I just use normal cupcake papers. If I make muffins, I use normal cupcake papers. I don't use those great big ones. I have them up here. Sorry, folks. Where are they? These ones. These ginormous. They're huge. They hold like 3 scoops of batter. They're enormous. So that's far too big. I save these for the individual Christmas cakes that I make. Get used for those. But everything else just goes into a normal cupcake paper, because we don't need to eat huge muffins and we don't need to eat huge cupcakes. One, this way, if it comes to afternoon tea time, you have 2 cupcakes. It's still probably not good, but it's not as bad as having 2 that are that size. Seriously? So, mosquito. Yeah, so. Oh, Christine, glad you like the sausage rolls. They won't last long. Get them in the freezer straight away, Suzanne. They just will not last long. Okay, now, all right. It is quiet without Hannah because she's not talking to you. She's gone to the home of a lady she works with. This lady invited everyone from work to her home for dinner tonight. And she's Italian, and she's made eggplant parmesan, yum, and lasagna and cheesecake, and oh my goodness, I want to get me an invitation. Oh, there, I love eggplant parmesan. I did suggest that she could tell her and bring me some home, but she didn't think that was a good idea. Okay, right, yeah. Jules, yes, Texas muffins. I do have a muffin pan that takes them, but there's only 6 in the tray. They're huge, just ridiculous, but perfect size for the individual fruitcakes for Christmas. So that's what those papers get used for. Right, let me get rid of this for a moment. And we'll do the icing, and I'll get these other cakes iced. Before I do that though, I need to peel some Easter eggs and colour some coconut. Now you can colour the coconut in a bowl if you want to. I'm just going to use a couple of freezer bags, and I'm using 2 just in case one bursts. So I'll put them one inside the other. Just like this. And I'll put the coconut in there, and it is a cup of coconut. Oh, 1 1/4 cups. Now it says the recipe will say flaked coconut. okay. I buy the coconut in bulk from Hindustan, so I just buy the shredded coconut. And if I need desiccated coconut, which is a bit finer, I whiz it in the food processor for a couple of seconds. Where's my trusty measuring cups right here? Okay, 1 1/4 cups. So there's the 1/4 cup of coconut. You could, again, normally I would just eyeball this. That's pretty standard measurement. That's not quite. So that and another 1/4 cup of water. This becomes the grass that the little eggs sit on. Green food colouring, and I have some here. Just a couple of drops. You don't want it too much. And again, having it in the plastic bag means it won't stain. So I'm just going to just a little teensy. You can always remember you can always add more. You can't take any out. Oops, that's probably too much. And this stuff does stain, so try not to get it everywhere. Right, so now I'm just going to rub it through. I don't know if you can see it turning green. It is turning green. Just like so. I used to do this all the time for the patty cakes for the kids' birthday parties. Pink for Hannah, green for Thomas, and blue for Alan, because that was their favourite colours. Okay. So, and it is turning green. It's not such a bad green. Actually, it looks quite nice. I tip it into a bowl. There we go. Lucky the dishwasher's fixed. Yay, dishwasher's fixed. If I tip it into a bowl, you'll be able to see how pretty it is, because it is pretty. Okay. Can you? I come round. Excuse me, peoples. Can you see? Can you see the green? Am I in the right spot? Probably not. It's very pretty green. It's hard with just one person here doing this. Yeah. So that's the coconut done. Next thing, 12 little chocolate eggs need to come out. I'll use these. 12 little chocolate eggs need to come out of their papers. So Barb is asking if she could use egg substitute. I don't see why not. It would, I sometimes use the, is it the Organ egg substitute, but you can use whatever you've got, I guess, which is like even, I think it's a tablespoon of soy flour to a tablespoon of water is the equivalent of 1 egg. I've got 2 for, we don't want to waste them, so 5 would probably work, Barb. If you can use egg substitute in regular packet mixes, then go right ahead. I wouldn't be too concerned about it. I haven't tried it, but I think the worst it would do would be not rise quite so much. Yeah, the Organ's really good. I take that camping with us because sometimes we just can't take fresh eggs. Okay, well, how many have I got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am counting them out, otherwise it'll be 1 for the cake, 1 for me, 1 for the cake, 1 for me, and that's just no good. I was in Coles today with Thomas doing his shopping, and they were giving away little Easter eggs at the checkout and the deli counter, and it's really nice. Free treat. That's very nice. I like my Coles. My local Coles is, I've been going there. I started going there with my mother, obviously. I was about 13, I suppose. So it's been there for a while. Okay, that gets rid of those. Pop that there. 12 little things. Green coconut. The icing is really just like cream cheese. Slightly different to the cream cheese frosting. Now, I've had this out of the fridge so it would be soft, because otherwise it's really hard to beat. Pop that there. And it uses, where's my quarter cup? A quarter cup of sugar. Now, if you don't want to use sugar, you could use icing sugar in this if you want to. I usually just follow the recipe. And trusty vanilla. About a teaspoon, tablespoon, there you go, generous with vanilla. So there you go. Homemade vanilla smells so much better than bought. Okay, now I'm going to make some noise, folks, because I'm going to have to use my beater for this. Just beat it till it's smooth, like you would your normal cream cheese frosting. I'm just making sure there's no lumps. Okay, there's a few little ones. Okay, that's done. Easy peasy. Okay. Pop few away. Here's some I prepared before. So we will. Now, this icing goes on smooth. So just pop some on. Spread it around. Oh, and that was just a standard 250 gram of cream cheese. The recipe will say 375. Yeah, it does. It says 375. I only had one packet in the fridge, so that's what I'm using. Okay, so if you've only got one packet, that's what you'll use, and you just spread your icing a little thin. Now, make it nice and smooth, just like so. Oh, who else likes cream cheese frosting? I love it. It's the best ever. So easy. That could probably do just a little bit more. Just like so. Now, does everyone have lots of plans for the weekend? Said we've got a day off tomorrow. And Saturday I'm spending with some good friends. I'm really looking forward to that. Feels like ages since I've seen them, so there's lots to catch up on. I have news. I'm sure they'll have news. Then Sunday, of course, is Easter Sunday. So we have our family lunch and our family breakfast and our family breakfast on Easter Sunday. Chocolate. Have a chocolate breakfast. I don't, when our kids were little, they didn't get lots of chocolates, lollies, chippies, sweets and things. I baked, but mostly for Wayne's lunchbox. The kids didn't get a great deal of sweet stuff. So Christmas, Easter, and their birthdays, they sort of, if they wanted chocolate for breakfast on Easter Sunday, that's what they got. I wasn't too fussed because the rest of the year was pretty easy. Okay, this is where I cheat. I do this with all sorts of toppings. Cupcake, green coconut. There we go. And it's done. So much easier than sprinkling, trust me. Now, this icing is really good on vanilla cupcakes, and if you use jelly crystals to dip it into, you can use raspberry, you can use strawberry, you can use lemon, orange, port wine, bubble gum, I think is the blue one, isn't it? Use whatever coloured jelly crystals you like, and that's they set really nicely in the frosting. There we go. Almost done. So they're good fun. Okay. Michelle's working on the weekend. And yep, it is good on carrot cake. This cream cheese frosting carrot cake, really good on banana bread. And there's a recipe in the Cheapskates recipe file for chocolate zucchini cake or chocolate zucchini bread, chocolate zucchini loaf. It's all pretty much the same thing anyway. Oh my goodness, put the cream cheese frosting on that. Yum. Oh, perfect. All right, they're done. Where's my little eggs? Now we're just going to plop one on the top. Just like this. Now, if you have little children in the family that are going to want cupcakes, I used to, again, use, excuse me, folks, where are they? These wee ones, whoops. Little tiny cupcake papers. Can I get them out? They're really little, so just teeny tiny. That light's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Teeny tiny little ones. Put cupcakes in there, so it takes 2 teaspoons of batter will fill that. And when they were baked, I would ice them, dip them in jelly crystals, and then either put a single Smartie or a raspberry or a jelly bean on top of them. And they were great for the kids' birthday parties because, again, they were getting a cake as a treat and it had a lolly on it, which was always special, but they weren't getting, for a little person, that's a good size. That's ginormous for a little person, where for an adult, it's quite reasonable, perhaps. So, okay, so they are done. How easy is that? It's seriously, the most expensive part is the chocolate eggs. Of course, now I got mine from Aldi, and I honestly can't tell you how much they were because I've forgotten. The brownie mix is $2.39. Aldi have a really good range of budget cake mixes. But on that note, Betty Crocker cake mixes are on half price sale at Coles this week. So they'll be between $2.60 and $3 a packet, depending on what they are. Now, they're slightly bigger packets than the Aldi ones. Now, they're normally very expensive. I think $6 for a cake mix is outrageous. And some of them are even more expensive, depending on the brand. Some of the Donna Hay ones are $8. So think about it. But I don't have a problem with using a mix occasionally. Sometimes it suits the purpose and it suits what you're wanting to do. If you don't have a lot of time, they're good. If you're trying to get someone who's not interested in baking, making a cake with a cake mix is a great start. Don't start them with the measuring and the weighing and the creaming and the melting, whatever. Start them with a packet mix, which is usually Something really simple like dump it in, add the eggs, add the milk, add the butter, mix, bake. That's really simple way to get people interested in baking if they're not. So, okay, now I'm losing, right. I think most kids eat the icing and leave it, don't they? Right. Huh. Okay. All right, hear the buzzer? Let me check them. Now remember they're brownies, not cupcakes. So maybe a couple more minutes, because you want brownies to be sort of, you know, brownies go crispy on top and around the edges, but they're still quite soft in the middle. You want your brownie cupcakes to be like that. You don't want them to be firm like a regular cupcake. Bye, Barb. I'll talk to you later. If I'm around tomorrow, I will talk to you tomorrow. Okay. Okay, so I didn't set the thing, did I? Because that's always a disaster if I don't set the timer. Whoops. Okay, now, pop that. I don't want to throw those bags out, but I do want to get rid of that rubbish, don't I? So that can all go into there for the time being. Into the one container. Goes there, goes there. See, I do like pretty cupcake holders. These ones, sorry, I'm doing it again. These ones are from Coles, I think. Yep, Coles. They're really pretty. I caught my eye and I like them. Now there's enough icing left to, whoops, do some of the cakes when they come out of the oven. I'll let them cool, and before I go to bed, I'll ice them. Now, because they've got cream cheese frosting on, they will need to go in an airtight container in the fridge. Don't leave them out. It's not quite cold enough to leave them out yet, overnight here anyway. I don't think it's cold enough anywhere in Australia at the moment to leave them out overnight. So just pop them into an airtight container, sit them in the fridge, and they'll be fine. Okay. Christine, cosmetics. You really want to ask me about cosmetics, my goodness. Okay, I use, at the moment, I'm using Aldi moisturizer, Aldi eye cream. Don't know if it's doing any good, but I'm using it. And for cleansing, taking my makeup off, I use the Aldi baby wipes. They are brilliant. They're so good. Really, and they get mascara off like that. One wipe and it's gone. They're really good, the Aldi baby wipes. And I buy the unscented ones because they don't make my eyes water. They don't make my skin itch. They don't make me peel or anything. So I really like those. I don't use a foundation. I just use BB cream over the top. At the moment, I'm using the Garnier because I got it really, really cheap when Priceline at Knox was closing down. It was like $6 a tube, $5.60 a tube or something ridiculous. So I bought, I think I got 10 tubes because that was actually cheaper than the Aldi one that I had been using. And I prefer that. It's lighter than a foundation. It's got a bit of moisturizer in it. It's got a bit of sunblock in it. So it works. And then if I'm doing a video or I'm doing TV or I'm going out, I just put some powder and blush on, mascara, and away I go. Now my mascara is a cheap one from Chemist Warehouse, and I think it was $4.99. It was really cheap, and it's brilliant. It doesn't go claggy, and it doesn't make my eyes water. I know I've tried Maybelline, I've tried CoverGirl, I've tried Max Factor, I've tried all sorts of really expensive brands over the years, and they all make my eyes water. And that's annoying. It's because then you want to rub them and you can't. So never mind. I used to, when I was single and rich, because I just was looking after myself, I used to use, I had Chanel, I had Yves Saint Laurent, I had L'Oreal, I had brand names of skincare and makeup that I used. Then I got married and we bought a house and had 3 kids, got a mortgage and lost our jobs. And so then I had to cut it back drastically. And I started looking around, and yeah, I'm really happy with the Aldi skincare range and their everyday skincare range that's available all year round. Every now and then they bring out some really good special buys, and if I need something out of that, I will think about swapping it over for a while. But I'm really happy with the Aldi one. I'm happy with the $4.99 mascara from Chemist Warehouse. The Garnier BB cream's brilliant. My lipsticks, do you know, you can't even see it. It's really pretty colour. This, Hannah got this for me for Christmas. It was in my Christmas stocking. It is such a pretty pink. It reminds me very much of the 1960s. It's very retro colour. 1960s had those pretty pastel-y pink colours. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I was just like a toddler in the 60s, so I didn't wear it or anything. But it just reminds me of that sort of that era of colours when they had the pastel blue eyeshadows and the big black eyeliner and stuff like that. It's so pretty. And it was a cheapie from Chemist Warehouse too, I think. Really nice. But I think when it comes to your skincare, you need to find what works for you and what you like and stick to it, bearing in mind that over time your skin changes and your needs change. Now, I'm not working in an office every day anymore, so I don't need to wear full makeup every day anymore, so I don't. But I always clean my face. I do use a toner, and it's just a cheapy one, and moisturize. And usually the moisturizer I make sure has an SPF in it, so that it's a little help with the sun. Here in Australia can be quite harsh, and the same with the BB cream. And I think the powder I use has an SPF of 15 too, so I figure layering it's got to be a bit better than nothing. So yeah, all right. Yeah, BB cream. Best invention ever is the BB cream. And does anyone know what the BB stands for? Because there's Garnier BB, there's Aldi has a BB, I'm sure L'Oreal has a BB. I know CoverGirl and Maybelline have BBs. You know what it is? Anyone? Anyone know? Thank you, Chris. Oh, Christine, I always look. No, aren't you sweet? No, I don't always. Trust me. If I'm out in the garden, I don't. I've got a hat in my head, gloves in my hands. No. No, not Be Better, not Better Beauty, not Beauty Balm, not White Bee. Oh, well. Yeah. Priceline have really good sales. I really miss Avon. It's I really, really miss Avon. I'll turn it on. Oh, perfect. Oh, if that was a tray of brownies, they would be magnificent. See how they're all pretty much the same size. No heapy bits in the middle, no big blunks, things. Wet fingers. Just wet them, pat them down. I'm just going to pop these onto a cake rack to cool so they can be iced if I can get them out without burning my fingers. And then I can't. Hang on. So, folks, I really miss Hannah. She does so much for me. I didn't even realise. Goodness gracious me. Let's get a little knife here and pop them out. Now, who wrote? Yeah, BB is a combination of moisturizer, or it's pretty much a tinted moisturizer with a bit of sunblock in it. So, and I think for our climate, it's perfect because it's not really thick and heavy and claggy. And it actually stands for, no, not Beauty Balm. It actually stands for Blemish Blend. Blemish Blend. And it was created to almost be a concealer under regular foundation, and you can use it under regular foundation if you want to, but I find it's light enough to use all the time, and it has just enough tint in it to look really good without having to go under a foundation. And as I said, if I'm doing something like this where I'm under studio lights or I'm going somewhere important, then I do put on full makeup and I'll use powder and blush and whatever. But otherwise, the BB cream is perfect. Okay. Wet finger trick. I think it was my great auntie that taught me to do that, Christine. Works really well. So there. Rightio. That's them done. Now, sorry folks, something my, I don't know what I got my. Anyone have any questions? While I let these cool, I shall shift them over here out of Temptation's way. They're too hot to put the icing on yet, it'll just melt. Hang up my tea towel. And any questions? No questions? Oh, no. How's that ice cream going, Maureen? What about those hot cross buns? Are they in the oven yet? Lorraine S., what brand of mascara? I honestly don't know. It's from Chemist Warehouse. It's in a red metallic-y tube. It was $4.99. They have a whole range of really cheap cosmetics at Chemist Warehouse, and it's brilliant. The Aldi mascara isn't too bad. Yeah, so right now. Okay, lost. No more questions. No more questions. Oh, if I cut it open, I have to eat it. All right. There you are. It's not really. Can you see? Tip it down a bit. It's ooey gooey inside like fudge. When it cools, it will be when it cools, it will firm up a bit. Okay, sorry, I'm just noticing all these questions. Hot cross buns, ice cream in freezer, cup of time. Yeah, cup of time. Okay, sounds like a. Okay, yes, you can freeze them, and yes, you can freeze them with the icing on. Narelle, when you made your sausage rolls on the weekend, they were soggy on the bottom. Okay, either your oven wasn't hot enough or they weren't in long enough. It will depend how long it takes to cook for anything, because what works in my oven in 20 minutes might take 15 in your oven, or it might take 25 in your oven, because they do vary. Even if it says 180, lights off, they still vary considerably. So you need to check them. But pastry needs a hot oven. So 210 minimum, 220 ideally, and it should be hot before the pastry goes in. Leave room between them so that they can actually cook without sweating, and they should be fine. Okay. Eat away. No, yeah. Any pastry that you're baking in the oven, your oven needs to be hot. And if you're doing sausage rolls or you're doing turnovers or puffs or something like that, leave room between them so that the heat can circulate around them and cook all the way through. I always check mine, I think I did in the show, check two to make sure, lift one up to make sure the bottom is browning as well, and check the sides. You can often see on the sides of sausage rolls where they sort of bulge out a bit. If it's looking a bit damp along there, they need a few more minutes to cook. Yeah. Yeah, see, now Christine, good point. Your oven's very hot, so she turns her temperature down. Even with the fan in my oven, it's a cool oven, so I usually bump it up 10 degrees to get it to work properly for me. So it's a bit of trial and error with all baking and cooking, and because everyone's oven's different, everyone's stove works differently. It's just the way it is. If you're cooking with gas or electricity, you've got fan force, you've got convection, all different. Oh, what sort of dishcloth are you knitting, Narelle? I've still got, what, 2 weeks I've been working on this dishcloth and it's still not finished. Oh, Christine, I got mine from Coles, their decor brand, pastry containers, and I got them at Coles. Now, I waited until they had a half price on decor, which happens quite a lot. Especially coming into winter, they'll start to put decor things on sale quite regularly. So look for them then. And if I spot them anywhere, I'll pop a post on Cheapskates Chatter that they're available at Coles or Woolworths or wherever and let you know. But anywhere that sells decor should have them. Decor containers and fridge canisters, freezer canisters should have them. Right. Kath, my dishwasher. Well, Alan pulled it out, fiddled around. I can't fix it. So Wayne came home, had a look at it because it was already out. Had a fiddle around it. I don't know what's wrong with it. Sort of shoved it back in. And I thought, no, it wasn't that expensive 10 years ago. And it gets used heaps because I loathe washing dishes. I really loathe washing dishes. If I had to save something in a fire, it would probably be the dishwasher. I'd be trying to drag that dishwasher out. But anyway, so we sort of thought, well, and that happened on Thursday. We were going away at lunchtime on the Friday, so we didn't have a lot of time. So what I did was, because the 3 kids, now our kids aren't kids, they're all adults, so they all come and go and do their own thing, and that's fine. They just sleep here. But I left the kitchen spotless on Friday morning, and I took a photo of it and of the empty sink, no dishes in the sink, and I sent it to all 3 kids with the message that I'm leaving a clean kitchen when I come home. That's what I want to see. Because otherwise I probably would have come home to dishes, not rubbish or anything, but dishes, because they don't, like me, they don't like washing dishes. Anyway, so we had a fantastic weekend. It was absolutely lovely. We were up around Walhalla. The weather was perfect. We had great company because we have really, really good friends that we go camping with. They're a wonderful group of people. We had a ball, absolute ball. We came home and we were actually a little bit earlier than we had thought we were going to be. So I thought we wouldn't be home. We had planned to not be home till about 8 o'clock, and the day finished early, and we just decided we'd just slowly work our way home. So we were home by 6. Anyway, came in. First thing Hannah said was, I fixed the dishwasher. How did you fix the dishwasher? How did you fix the dishwasher? He said, I pushed the reset button. Now, I will tell you, I pushed and pushed and pushed, and I pushed and held, and I pushed 2 buttons. I tried that reset button, and it did not work. Madam comes out, la-di-da-di-da, with a plate and a bowl or whatever, and decided she wasn't going to wash the dishes, so she had to get the dishwasher fixed. Fiddled around, turned some knobs, pushed the reset button, and she said she held it in for about 30 seconds, just held it in, and then all the lights started flashing. So she decided to shut the door properly and turn it on and see what happened, and it worked, and it's gone ever since. So goodness only knows what, because I'm the one that uses it, what I did to upset it, but it's fixed. Because we had sort of talked while we were away about, we'll just get a new one. Because it really was not expensive. It was only $300. And we've had it for about 10 years. And so we've had our money's worth out of it, although everything's like the baskets and the trays and everything are still in perfect condition. But it's actually still got the cover on the front. You know, they put the plastic protective stuff on the front. That's still on. I haven't even taken that off. And so we thought, it's going to cost more to get someone to come out and repair it, because I know the dishwasher we had before this one, I had repaired twice. And honestly, one repair was almost as much as the machine cost, and the next one wasn't that much cheaper. So we sort of thought about buying a new one, and I thought we'll just leave it for now and we'll shop around. And I had planned to come home and jump online and start comparing prices and look at choice and see what was available and whatever, because my thing is I don't like stainless steel. It has to be white. I do not like stainless steel, and it's really hard to get anything these days that's not stainless. It's one reason we've got still got an old oven and an old cooktop, because I loathe stainless. I've had stainless and I'm not doing that again. Okay. Cheapskates Chatter Lynette is our Facebook group. Okay, right. What am I? Oh gosh, there's lots of things going on here. Sorry, folks. I'm okay. Right, dishcloth. Photo would be good of the dishcloth. Fix the dishwasher. Oh, Suzanne, was that the decor pastry containers on sale at IGA? That might help Christine. Maureen, for our meat, I have my grocery budget. I pull $200 out of my grocery budget, and that's our grocery money that I spend at Aldi or Pellegrino's. And then the 120 is put into my meat purse. That's right. And yes, then it sits there. Now, it sits there until I'm ready to do my meat shopping, so it will build up, unless I get a really good special, like the legs of lamb a couple of weeks ago was $7.99, which is the cheapest they've been for over 12 months. So I took some of the meat money then and went and got some lamb. So, yeah, I do keep my meat money separate from my grocery money. Otherwise, it would just blow out. And, you know, I've got to feed the man meat husband. He will not go without his meat. So I have to have some money for it. Okay. Thank you, Lorraine S. Okay, guys, New South Wales IGA. So check your local IGA store. You can go online to iga.com.au and type in your postcode to find the store nearest you and see what specials they have. The pastry containers are on sale in New South Wales. Christine, stockpiling when you're older and just 2 is exactly the same. You're just stockpiling less. So when Wayne and I, if Wayne and I ever become empty nesters, there'll just be 2 of us. I will still have my stockpile, and it will still be 12 months of what we need, but it'll just be less because there'll only be 2 of us. So instead of using a whole packet of spaghetti each week, it will probably be 1 packet of spaghetti a month. So instead of having 52 packets of spaghetti on hand at any time, I will only have 12. Does that make sense? Ditto with the tomato soup. I won't be using as much tomato soup, so I'll have less on hand. But it's still the same process. You're still doing the same thing. You're just stockpiling less. Thank you, Freya. I really miss her tonight. She usually sits there and she goes like this, she goes like this, and she tells me all. You can't see her because she sits down over here, but she hand signals me quite well, very well actually. So she's doing well, and I hope she's enjoying that eggplant parmesan. Oh, so good. All right, everyone, have a lovely, lovely holiday. Easter weekend, if you're traveling, please be safe. And I know it's not you that needs to be safe, it's the other people on the road or wherever you are. But, you know, please be safe and have a lovely, wonderful breakaway if you get to go away. I know it's coming up the end of school holidays, so traffic will be frantic anyway, as well as being the Easter weekend. Here in Victoria, if you are heading east, it's going to be chaotic because quite a bit of our camping area to the east of Melbourne in Gippsland is still closed from the fires. And even if there's still quite an active fire ground, but even the fire ground that's not active is closed. So you need to check if you're heading out that way. And there's a lot of controlled burns happening this weekend too. So expect smoke haze, expect traffic, expect all sorts of things. And if you expect it and it doesn't happen, no problem. If you expect it and it does happen, you've been prepared. So, yeah, if you're going camping, I'm very jealous. I wish I was too. It would be lovely. Yeah, so. All right, guys. Have I talked enough? I've still got some cupcakes to ice. And there's a big bunch of celery over there that I took apart. I picked up this morning, chopped it off, pulled it all to bits, washed it, set it there to drain. So that all has to be chopped and put away before I go to bed too. And Jess, yeah, I'm going to do a camping. I'll do a series probably on camping because there's quite a lot that we do when we go away that just makes our lives easier. We've been camping since our kids were, well, we were camping before we had kids. I've been camping all my life, camping and hiking, although I don't do so much hiking anymore. I'd rather be driven these days. But we took our, as you know, Hannah was, we had Alan, we had Thomas, we had Hannah was still only about 3 months old for her first camping trip to Burrinjuck Dam, and that was an Easter trip. So you just do it. So many things we've learned over the years that just make it easier and budget friendly, which is always really good. Okay, I am going to go. Happy blessed Easter to all of you. I will be back on Tuesday and we're going to talk about budget purses. And did I hear Hannah say last Tuesday that she was going to come on camera? So I'll just keep replaying that to her because she said it. She's going to do it. So you might get to see Hannah on Tuesday. All right, guys, thank you so much for bearing with me tonight. Remember to pop down there and thumbs up would really be nice. Share, and I will add the links to the recipe for the Easter Brownie cupcakes, which could be any sort of not necessarily Easter, but you could use them for anything. So think about making them through the year too. I will put the links to the recipe in there and, of course, on the show notes page on the Cheapskates Club website. And on Tuesday night, we'll be talking about our budget purses and how they work. And I will drag mine out and show mine. And you've seen Hannah's sparkly pretty ones. And mine aren't sparkly, but they're still quite nice. So I'll see you then. Okay, guys, thank you very much, and bye. I shall turn myself off, and I'll have to stand here and stare at you for a while, but not to worry. Okay, bye.